Hello, welcome to DANUS Celtic World. I'm Kate. Happy full moon in Capricorn. Coming to you live, Central Standard Time from the Midwest, South Midwest. How are we? How we doing? Hope you had a great day. Hope your day was solid, strong, built with foundation, safe, grounded, all of those things that make up Capricorn. Yes. We have a lot going on in today's horoscope with trines and oppositions and the full moon, Mars moving into Gemini. We know that means it's going fast. Every communication is going to go fast. And we also have Neptune in the mix, making us feel a little out of sorts, you know. I am responding to somebody at this moment. And they are in. Excellent. Sorry about that. Okay. What a day. What a day. I started off the day with which felt like tons of meetings. And, the day just flew by. I think I felt like I blinked and it just went right by. Today is a good day. It's sunny outside here in Texas. In the Houston, Texas area. We have the moon. It was so bright last night. I went out and looked at it for like a half an hour. It was so beautiful. I'm sure tonight it's going to be amplified with the full moon in Capricorn. Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Okay, Cancer, the sun is in Cancer as well. Mercury retrograde, Mercury's third house. Mercury rules Gemini. We also have Mars entering Gemini. Mars is fast. Mars rules Aries. And Mars moves fast, really quick, has a lot of energy. Communication, Gemini is all about the mind. Expressing the mind, expressing intellect, emotional maturity, intellectual maturity. With Mercury retrograde, we have a lot of, conversations that need to be had that maybe we should have had a while ago. Mercury retrograde actually begins this morning, but does not end until July 23rd. Focusing on, again, emotional clarity. Cancer is all about emotions. Cancer is empathic. Cancer is all about walking into a room and feeling the energy and feeling the emotions of others. Memory, retaining memory, looking at body language, relationship healing, deep inner healing with self, with the openness to reflect on past matters and letting go of that lingering crap that no longer serves you anymore. Those issues have to go. Okay? We're not entering a new era, for goodness sake. This retrograde, this full moon in Cancer, the retrograde in Cancer. The sun is in Cancer. The moon is in Sagittarius with, it's got a lot of descriptions, pertaining to, and this is kind of like Sagittarius is a trickster player, likes to travel, kind of like the Fool card, or like the Fool card, the one walks all over the place, travels everywhere, doesn't know where his foot is stepping or her foot is stepping, and the dog's just following. and watching him almost fall off the cliff, but he's going to go straight away. He's going to go through his life. The fool, meaning the young man or young woman walking through life, the fool walking through life's experiences, and the dog is following him in this card. That's what that represents. Because by you get to from the fool, when you get to the world card, you see the fool in, the traditional tarot card and the Rider-Waite card. You also see that fool as an adult man in the Witch's tarot card, in the Wizard's tarot card. So that fool, that's what that representation means. With the fool, that's a young man walking through the steps of life, going through the steps of life, going through making bold decisions, going through the momentum of life, and just going with the flow. If they step down and hurt themselves, they get right back up, and there's the dog. It's going to trip along with his buddy. Yeah. It's letting go of the past. No more lingering. With the sun in Cancer, it's emotional warmth. Today was like 111 degrees out. I was dressed in my business casual clothes, and it was hot outside. I mean, I would not have to want to go and walk door to door to sell anything in 111 degrees, even though they let you use your car. But this full card, the sun in Cancer with the moon in Sagittarius mix, that emotional warmth with the sun in Cancer, because we went into Cancer season on the summer equinox, the 21st, and with that emotional warmth hitting our faces and our bodies, and the fool being the adventurous, curious, what's going to happen in life? Where am I going to go? What adventure am I going to go into next? What travel am I going to go to? What experiences will I go through? What will I be learning? You may feel adventurous, exploratory, in some places nurturing, because sometimes we go travel and we just feel like we're right at home. And some places we go and travel or feel we step our footing in a place where we just absolutely do not fit in or do not belong. Right? And this is suggesting, now let's turn the card upside down, the fool upside down. It's like he or she rushes into new adventures, and maybe they go too fast. And I put that in my notes today when I sent it out and informed all of the collaborative and my subscribers and my likes and the individuals I talk to and chat with and email, that this is like going into the world and going every day, running 60 miles an hour boldly, and just going 100 miles an hour without even a thought to what we're doing. And now we need to calm down and think about, reflect, reassess. How have we matured from all the life's experiences? How have we come to full maturation? Have we matured? Are we growing up? Have we learned our lessons? Where do we still need to learn lessons? Where do we still need to go and heal from the experiences we've learned? This is such a strong emotional reflection for everyone, for absolutely everyone. And it's going to take some time. Some people this week will be getting good news. Some people will be getting, because we have Gemini. Gemini is with Mars, and he is, going fast. He's quick. He's going to bring quick communications to you, expressed emotions and feelings of communication to some of you, to each of you, that you may have to confront that you don't want to, that you might have been putting off. You know, maybe so you have animosity with someone, or maybe someone hurt your feelings, and or vice versa, or maybe you just don't want to have that conversation with your superior at work, or your coworker, or your spouse, your mate, your loved one, the person you're dating, yourself, yourself, yourself. Come to the realization that you're going to have to do some healing. You're going to have to make some bold decisions in your life. And it also requires being open to change and adaptability for the next 7 years while we have Uranus entered into Gemini. That's going to be there for a very, very long time. This Mars with this quick thinking, this quick talking, this expressive, down to earth, quick communications is a huge act on getting it out in the open. Career wise, it could be if you're communicating at work and with Mars entering Gemini, and you have ideas and creative ideas and curiosity to try different things and be inventive. This could be focusing on clarity, also having the urge to just go for it, do it, express it, show them what you got. Urge active ideas and inventive ideas, and spark creative projects and good decisions that no one's wanted to try ever. And that is important too. We all have to take a risk, right? We all have to take a risk. You can't just sit by and say, oh, I'll let, George do it. Why would you let George do it if you know his idea is not approved? It's a project that may not work. Everybody's a little off about it, but maybe they'd like to hear something new. Don't be afraid. And of course, we have our wonderful Neptune in the mix. Its presence may cause, especially with dreams at night, or when we're tired and we're dreaming and we're laying down and relaxing, we might be in that dreamy state, that illusional state, that's, sensitivity you might be a little sensitive in the evening time when you get up in the morning. That adds a bit of confusion to all of this full moon in Capricorn. Challenges between being at home, being at work, being a career, public duties, being of service, being secure, being grounded, being focused, have work ethics, have personal ethics, using your manners, being detailed, being practical, building a foundation, like being a police officer every day, being the good kid, being the good guy every day in your life, in your home, in your career, in your public duties, in your personal duties, with your love mate, with your friends, with your relationships, with your animals. It's a lot. I put that in the notes as well, not as detailed because that I'd be writing a book, but we need to, with Neptune's influence, because it's dreamy and it's illusionary when you're tired. It could create a bit of tension because normally at a certain time of the day we want to relax. We want to get rid of the tension. We want to get rid of the monkeys off of our back. And it may, with a lot of people, a lot of signs, water signs especially, earth signs especially, not so much the fire signs, but because you're passionate and many of you, because you're Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, you have that fiery Mars, that fiery, Venus, that fiery passion, that fiery, going forward. It might feel like you can't sit still, you can't go to sleep, you can't stop thinking, you can't stop getting ideas. Almost like you drank a whole pot of coffee by yourself but somebody made it so strong that you can't. It's like you just can't focus. You can't stop. You're just going, 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 going with the fire signs. Neptune, earthy. The earth signs are going to feel it pretty intensely with I need to do it this way. I need to get it right. I need to do my duties right. I need to have my relationships correct, personal, professional. And it's going to last for probably the rest of this week, and it'll wane off after, we're going to go into this waning moon phase anyway, and it'll eventually wane off. What will not wane off is the Mercury retrograde in Cancer. That's going to July 23rd. We also have a bunch of many goodies that are coming up this month. We have, many of us are going to have this full moon influence in our houses in a different way. So, like for Aries, your days are going to be so to so for probably the entire week. You're ruled by Mars. Go fast. You're the warrior. Energy, 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 energy. You're probably going to feel the tension between having to do professional and personal things and demands and make decisions and pass judgment and do all kinds of things. You're going to need to put yourself in the room and close the door and not have any distractions so that you can stay focused. That's all the fire signs. All of the fire signs are going to be like that. You are. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of people that do that day to day, and they just have to do that anyway, right? Taurus, earth sign, you need to be focused, pay attention, watch your words. Everybody, I already said this all week long because I've already met with you twice this week. Engage brain before mouth. Mercury retrograde and Cancer can have you and cause each of us to have miscommunications that we might say the wrong thing and hurt people emotionally, intrinsically, and extrinsically. Be careful what you're saying. Watch your mindset. Not all is lost. Things aren't perfect. It's kind of like the Five of Pentacles. We have 5 cups on the ground and 3 are turned over, but 2 are still standing up. There's hope. All is not lost. So if things get messed up this week, Taurus, Virgo, 5 of Cups. 3 of may have fell down because you didn't get your act together. This is, by the way, this full moon is get your act together. There's no more there's no more messing around. No more. The universe is not going to meet you halfway and say, oh, give them a little taste, and then they'll get up and do the right thing. This is full throttle. Get it the blank done. Get it done. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Be responsible. Making decisions. Reassess. Get off your lazy. Get off the couch. Get on that horse and go ride 'em cowboy and start doing what you're meant to do. Start living your dream. Stop watching everybody go by and having all the beautiful things in their life, and you're just sitting there, oh, that's nice. I wish I had that. Oh, that's great. I wish I had that. Well, you would be able to have that if you weren't sitting around judging other people. Mind your own business and go do what the flip you got to do. Get up, build a foundation. You know what you have to do. You know what your responsibilities are. You know how you're supposed to raise your children. You know how you're supposed to be disciplined, steady. You've got Capricorn in the mix, following rules, following ethics, following good behavior, doing mannerisms, following daily plans, daily schedules. If you know what you're doing, what the hell are you doing there screwing around for? If you want those things, like those other people do that do everything the way they're supposed to do and they don't mess around, then you need to do it too. No one's going to hand you anything for free. And that's what this full moon is about. Get up and get it done. Stop playing around. Get up and stop watching everybody and feeling like this little pity party for yourself. Capricorn doesn't like that. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn doesn't give a shit what anybody else thinks. Saturn wants you to behave and do discipline, following rules, following schedules, doing the right thing, making the right decisions, being a leader, being responsible, being detailed, paying attention, reassessing, responsibility, being detail oriented, following work routines, following work ethics, stability, safety, thinking for others and consequences